Hi, welcome back to SouFLoTV again, everybody. It is your host with the most. We covered this story before on a recent video, and if you watch that and listen to that recent video, one of the things that I discussed in that video was the possibility of a fratricide. Fratricide meaning when a soldier or a law enforcement official person is on duty and there is a shootout and that individual ends up getting shot by their own law enforcement brothers and sisters who are in the mix of the gunfire with them. As a soldier or someone who was a soldier for a decade, I can tell you that when bullets start flying in all directions and your enemies are all around, things can get quite confusing. So fratricides do happen. This is the reason why soldiers, especially those who are known as infantry soldiers or frontline fighters, they drill constantly, day in, day out, with their weapons, with dummy rounds, with live rounds. They have live round exercises. They have to know how to move under fire, and it has to be something that is so embedded in them. They train so much that it becomes second nature to them, like they can do it in their sleep, because there is that level of confusion that kicks in. Can you imagine gunshots firing from all directions and it's dark outside and you have to shoot your way up out of that along with your teammates? Sometimes in the heat of the moment, you don't even know where one of your teammates are. So if you are not properly trained, your teammate could very well end up in direct line of your fire. And I said this in the video we covered when this young man, this JDF soldier, was first killed. Now, here is the update. Welcome back to SouFLoTV again. If you've never been here before, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, please. Click the bell next to the subscribe button so you are notified every time a new video goes up on SouFLoTV. Alright, according to the Jamaica Observer, it says mystery murder deepens. JDF is not ruling out friendly fire in the death of the young soldier. Wow. So you would expect the JDF to first come out and say, NASA, we're properly trained, we're absolutely sure it's not one of our guys, or it's not one of his buddies or his teammates that accidentally kill him, right? But in my video previously, I said it's going to take a higher level of accountability for the JDF to actually say, if it comes back that that's what it is, for them to not do a cover-up. Because you must understand that this is a soldier, right, who dedicated his life, or his best intentions were to serve his country through military service. Now, how do you go and tell his mom that it wasn't the enemy that killed him, it wasn't gunman who wanted him dead that killed him, it was one of his own that killed him? That's going to be even harder. So sometimes I believe that dishonest people do cover up these types of situations. Now, according to this, it says that the Jamaica Defense Force has refused to accept or deny that friendly fire led to last week's, Friday's, fatal shooting death of one of its soldiers, Private Ejay Domville, in Denham Town in Kingston. Of course, there were a lot of talks also about him being a girl's man and him standing up out there talking to girls, and the girls loved him around that area, you know, and people were, like myself, were saying, if you are in an area where girls are your priority or even on your list, period, looking around and admiring them, you are off your guard. And then there were rumors that they used the girls to soften him up, to make him feel comfortable in the area, and he lowered his guard. And then those who wanted revenge for other men who have been killed in this same area by security forces exacted their revenge on the young, inexperienced soldier. So this says that at the time of his killing, Domville was posted at the Denham Town Zone of Special Operations. Now, for those of you who don't know what that is because you're not Jamaican and you're listening, and even those who are Jamaican who probably don't know, a zone of special operation is a heightened security area. Zone of special operation is usually put in places where these communities are volatile. There has been an uptick in violence in these communities, so they have stationed soldiers working alongside police in some areas, in these areas where they are heavily guarded and are supposed to be heavily secured with heavy military or police presence in order to deter further violence from happening in these areas. So for this young soldier to be killed in a zone of special operations, that alone says a lot. And I said in my first video that something was very off. I even went as far as to say, where were his teammates? Maybe they were inside of one of the houses or somewhere, have Keisha Panabakas, something, I get a shiner from Teresa. You don't know. But they were not where they were supposed to be. Now, according to the police, around 1:25 a.m., this is the wee hours of the morning on Friday, August 23rd, Domville, he was part of a military team that were on foot patrol in the vicinity of Charles Street and Chestnut Lane when he was killed. The police said that soldiers were in pursuit of men who opened fire at them, which caused them to take evasive actions and return fire. Close with and destroy the enemy is what soldiers are trained to do. At the end of the shootout, Domville was found with a gunshot wound to his face. The young soldier, who had been in the JDF for less than a year, was taken to a hospital where he was pronounced dead. His death sparked widespread speculation in the public sphere that he could have been shot by one of his colleagues. Let me tell you, before anybody else mentioned that, you can go back and look at the date and time of my video posted. I gave my summation, or my supposing then. I gave my theory based on my years of experience as a U.S. Army infantry soldier, combat veteran. And that is what I used to speak on this. So I was the first person who actually said this could very well be fratricide, right? Now, everybody else took it and ran with it after that. The swirling speculations, especially after Wednesday's publication of a story by a local newspaper depicting the concerning view of Domville's mother, Kalisha Reynolds, prompted the JDF to issue a statement. In the statement, the JDF said that it was conducting its own internal investigations to ensure all facts are uncovered, and that it will fully cooperating with ongoing investigations by the Jamaica Constabulary Force, which is the JCF. In other words, soldiers and police are working together, right? And the Independent Commission of Investigation, or INDECOM, as well. However, INDECOM's Assistant Commissioner Hamish Campbell said that the investigating body was not probing the matter, which he said was a murder. Wow. So that's a mix-up right there by itself. Why would INDECOM not be looking into this? Ask yourself this. If there's any possibility of it being anything else, why would INDECOM not be looking into it? However, INDECOM attended the scene because at the time there was discharge of firearm by security forces, but no one was injured. We know where the soldier was shot, and post-mortem will further support or add to that in terms of trajectory and direction. But INDECOM is not the investigating body for that, Campbell said. Now, what that means is they will bring in their forensic experts, and their forensic experts will do their bullet trajectory. They will do all these other things. The military guys are all issued the same kind of weapon with the same kind of rounds. they can pretty much gauge from there to say, well, no, but none of us were carrying a 9mm and he got shot with a 9mm. None of us was carrying a 7.62 or a gun that accommodates a 7.62. All our rifles fire 5.56s, and he was hit in the face with a 7.62. None of us was carrying that. So they'll be able to narrow it down to the direction from which the bullet came, where he was hit, where he was found, etc., what kind of weapon it was, where did it go into his body, did it exit his body or not. All kinds of things like that need to be put in place before they can say. Now, we must be wise and we must think, even if soldiers are given AR-15s, gunman has AR-15s too. So just saying that is a 5.56 hit him, so is one of us, that can't be done, because the gunman or the enemy then, for lack of a better word, is probably carrying the same weapon as law enforcement. Now, INDECOM is not the investigating body of this. INDECOM Assistant Commissioner Hamish Campbell said the investigating body was not probing the matter, which he said was a murder. In its statement on Wednesday, the JDF said, "We acknowledge the concern raised by PTE Domville's mother, or Private Domville's mother." He was a private, by the way, meaning he was the lowest rank you can have in the military, and rightfully so, because he had just started out and he was pretty young as well. Now, again, we acknowledge the concerns that were raised by Private Domville's mother, Miss Kalisha Reynolds, and we are committed to working with internal, external stakeholders to ensure they are addressed in a timely manner. Arrangements have been made to ensure that Miss Reynolds is present at the autopsy, and we will maintain continuous communications to ensure that she is informed throughout the process. Boy, you know, she must going to be a very strong woman, because it's one thing to know that your son died with a gunshot or by a gunshot wound to the face, but it's another thing to stay there at the autopsy and watch them cut and dig and, in order to get to whatever the truth is, or to get to the findings that will determine how he died and what could have caused it, etc., etc. Now, the JDF also recognized the concern expressed by the public regarding the possibility of Private Domville's death being a result of fratricide. We acknowledge that the complexity of a shooting engagement with threat, force, and split-second decision-making can increase its likelihood. However, our pre-deployment training is focused on minimizing the risk of fratricide and ensuring the safety and the well-being of our service members during a firefight. This is what the Army has said. And as a person who has lived this life and been down this road, I can tell you that this is one of the reasons why they train and train and train and train till the things you do, you even find yourself doing them in your sleep. This is one of the reasons why, especially for infantry frontline soldiers, they are super aggressive towards them, because every mistake could mean, in a real life situation, that one of you or more will not be making it home to your family. And a lot of civilians don't really understand this unless you have served. Now, the military said that it is committed to providing full support to the family as they navigate these challenging circumstances together. And I hope this means full support as in paying for his funeral, as in giving him a proper send-off, as in providing professional counseling to his grieving family members, especially his mother. Now, in an interview with a local newspaper on Tuesday, Domville's mother expressed hope that the autopsy, which was set to be done on Wednesday, would provide her with some answers. She said that she did not believe that he was killed by criminals in a shootout. Wow. So his mother said that she did not believe that her son was killed by criminals in a shootout. By the mom saying this, it leaves the door open for us to ask, who does she believe killed him, or how does she believe that her son was killed? If she believes that it wasn't criminals that killed him, then obviously she believes that it's one of his own that killed him. But was there a shootout? Or was there a discrepancy between soldiers and he got shot? Whether it was intentionally or an accidental shooting. She said that when she went to the Tranquility Funeral Home, where her son's body is stored, she was told that she could not see the body because it was already identified. The mother of two described Domville as her breadwinner. Wow. So his paycheck at a private level is what is sustaining his family. Could it be that this young soldier saw something that he wasn't willing to be a part of, and they decided that, you know what, we have to get rid of the private because I'm going to blow a cover? Could it be? Now, I'm not accusing anybody of anything. I'm saying in the feet to find out exactly what happened to him. No stones should be left unturned, because the mystery gets deeper and deeper. And hearing now that his mom has said that she does not believe that it was criminal elements that killed her son in any shootout. Wow. Listen, leave your comments in the comment section below. Today is August 29th. Today is Thursday. So that means that autopsy was supposed to have been performed yesterday, which would have been August 28th of 2024 on Wednesday, where the results would soon be available sometime soon. Let's see what happens next. The rabbit hole deepens. Leave your comments and let's have a conversation about this as we await justice to be served. I'll catch you on the next video. Hit that subscribe button. And if you're not a member of this channel yet, then go get your membership as well. I'm out. Peace. Alright, my Jamaican people, let's take a break from our scheduled program here and get into this promo of a wonderful product from a company called Soninka Limited. Soninka Limited Solar Lighting. They have interior lighting available, roof solar panels available, extra bright street lights like you're seeing in this video clip available. You can use these lights to light up your streets and avenues, lanes and corners, your backyard, your farm, your front yard, any which part need lighting. And this is all powered by God's Son. Solar, no man, solar. You don't have a JPS bill to pay. And they are available island-wide. So check it. Intelligent lighting control, dimmable remote controlled, rechargeable on cloudy days. Listen, hook up, link up with Soninka right now. Oh, and tell them SouFLoTV sent you and get a nice discount. And get yourself out of the darkness and into the light. Back to our regular scheduled program at hand. Peace.